I'll lead off, J-Bell, by asking you, are people underrating this Chiefs D?
Well, they've had success of late, right? They went on this winning streak, and supposedly they've been playing better. They have. But I look at their opponent, and they haven't played high profile offenses, and that worries me. This is the best offense they've played all year
Right.
at the biggest game. So that's what I'm looking at. I mean, yes, they've gotten better at stopping the run. The D line has definitely improved. They're getting off blocks better, but still, this is a different animal in San Francisco.
Because, yeah, sometimes stats can be misleading, as we say. And you look at the run in the last 7 games, people are saying they're the most improved defense and the best defense against the run. It seems like a real mismatch on paper, doesn't it? We see what Kyle Shanahan has managed to achieve, just the invention there with how he's using the run. So talk about that particular matchup, the Chiefs' run D against this run-led offense of Shanahan.
Let me tell you what, this is the other matchup where the game will be won. Because think about it, San Francisco wants to get out to a lead and run out the clock.
Right.
They want to play keep away. And they are going to run the ball effectively to do that. And they can because of that zone scheme they have. They'll run outside. They'll run inside. They run all kind of different run looks, which confuses the D-line and the linebackers because regardless of what happens, you have to be aware of the gap you have to cover. And what happens off of that when you're so worried about covering your gap in the run game? The play, action, pass.
Right.
So everything comes off of this run game.
The outside run in particular is going to be critical for the Chiefs to stop, isn't it?
Yeah, because they want to stretch you out, get you running sideways, and then a speed back like Raheem Mostert hits it fast and then get chunk yardage. I mean, he can get 20, 30 on you real quick.
And what a story he is. I mean, and we've seen it before, and the Patriots seem to have the blueprint for this of finding players that other people didn't want or players that certainly weren't hyped up or rated and even kicked around the NFL and bounced around the NFL, suddenly becoming stars or being significant contributors. That's what Shanahan's managed to do with a number of players, particularly Mostert, right?
See, the beauty of Shanahan is he knows what he needs. He says, I need a guy that does this because this is what I want to do in the game. And he sees that in his running back. That's why he has a diverse group. But he needs speed. And the one thing about it is, I know Raheem Mostert has bounced around, and people try to say that. But the fact that you bounced around and you keep getting jobs lets me know how good you are.
Right.
The NFL is all about opportunity. When you get your opportunity, you go out there and you make plays. I tell you right now, he will never, ever be an unsung hero again. Everybody's aware of his talent.
No doubt about that. Let's talk about Steve Spagnuolo because he is the architect of this improved Chiefs D. And I take your point that their schedule has been, certainly compared to the 49ers, more straightforward. But Spagnuolo has been there, has done it. The architect, of course, of those 2 giant Super Bowl wins over the Patriots, and a coach you know all too well, of course.
Yeah, I played under him the year I went on injured reserve, the first Super Bowl year. So I was in the install when they were putting in that new defense. And the one thing about him is it takes you have to be a high-level communicator. Because that's what happens, especially on the back end in the secondary. And that's why Tyrann Mathieu is so important.
Right.
That's why he wanted him in free agency.
Yeah.
He needed a guy that could line everybody up. And he's a coach that gets better as the season goes on because he learns his players. He learns what they do well, and he puts them in that position. A lot of coordinators just say, I'm going to run my defense. You learn it, and that's it. But the smart ones, in my opinion, say, this is my talent. I'm going to tailor it to them, and that's how we'll have success.
How much confidence as well should it give Chiefs fans that he's been there and done it, but particularly the way that he did it, the fact that he managed to find a way in both instances, certainly in 2007 most notably, but in both cases of creating a plan and getting his players to execute that plan to stop something that most people thought was unstoppable.
You said the key, creating a plan, right? You got 2 weeks to get this plan together. They already know what they're going to do.
Right.
So now it's all about freshening up. But if you got a coach who's been there before, who's won, and he sits there and he looks at you and he goes, fellas, I figured it out. You believe it as a player because he has the pedigree. He's done it. So they should be very confident because all the things that go on with this, he's seen before, and he can keep his players calm and locked in to the moment.
Let's talk about other areas of this Chiefs defense, J-Bell. The pass D, strong, of course, fewest yards allowed to wide receivers. But a weak spot here, ranking 29th out of 32 in terms of yards after catch. So how do you like that matchup?
Yeah, well, with the Chiefs pass D, they're going to what they've been doing well is they've been pattern matching. Okay, so this is what the team does well offensively. Spags has found a way to take that away. That's because he's got Tyrann Mathieu. That's the key. So he's going to take away your good go-to plays. But when you look at the statistic you threw out there, it's all about tackling. You must tackle the catch. That is the key. No yards after catch. It's all about fundamentals, basics. Remember, this game is simple. You just have to be good at the small details, and tackling is it.
That's a big detail.
Big detail. It's tackle football.
The pass rush against the 49ers O-line. Frank Clark had a great line on opening night. The 49ers haven't seen a defensive end like me, is what he said.
Yeah. He's a player. He's a player. But, the one thing you have to realize is they're running that play-action pass, that boot. They are going to make you think. They're going to make your backside defender, your backside defensive end, he's going to think, is the boot coming to me? Is the run going away? There's a lot of things going on. It's not a simple drop back pass scheme where you're like, let's pin our ears back and get after the quarterback. It's so many distractions in this offense, and that slows down the pass rush.
Hope you enjoyed the Nat Coombs Show presented by Paddy Power Fantasy. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click subscribe to ESPN UK and you won't miss a trick.